how to maximize your firm's legacy and impact. I'm curious, what would you like to get from today? What's on your mind? There's something about your firm. It's got to do something about your firm, your CPA firm. It's got something to do about your legacy, and it's got something to do about what kind of an impact do you want to make in the next chapter of your life. What is that? Feel free to share that with us. So there's three things, in our agenda that I want to share. Number one is we'll explore pivotal changes in the CPA industry. Number two, we'll talk about the impact on your accounting practice in the future. And then number three is how to navigate this evolving landscape. Very quickly about me, most of you guys have been around me. We've known each other. We've been at conferences and what have you. I own Straight Talk CPAs. It's a 15-person CPA firm, fully virtual. We went fully virtual last year, right after tax season, which was 2023. So we've been doing this virtual thing for more than a year. It's been one of the best things we have done. We got a team that is all across the US, and we have clients that are everywhere in the US as well. And what brings me here in front of you here in this session is Straight Talk Transitions. This is the entity, where I help firm owners with the next chapter. All right, so key changes in the CPA industry. I'm going to breeze through this because this is not new to you. You've seen it, but I bring it as kind of just to bring everything in the context of this presentation. A lot of changes on the technology front, technological advancement. There's a shift towards AI, cloud computing, and then real-time data management. So that's like one big change, right? And we saw a lot of that, like with ChatGPT, it became a household name. But all this AI stuff and things moving at a rapid pace is happening on the technology side. Second thing is client expectations. There is a greater demand for advisory services. We've been hearing it for the last 10 years, right? Or more. Advisory, go do advisory, do advisory, do advisory. And that continues towards the push for advisory. And there is also rapid, clients expecting more and faster, quicker, right? So client expectations are changing. Market competition, growing competition from global and remote entities and do-it-yourself software. Everything is like there's a lot of that. And then something that is probably many of you have experienced it in one way or another is labor market shifts, challenges in attracting and retaining talent, and then the trend towards remote work, right? So these are the changes in the industry. Now the question comes about is how does that affect you? How does it affect your practice? How does it affect the next chapter of your life, of your career? So 5 things I'll share here. Number one is overall impact. These changes, they redefined operational approaches and strategic planning, meaning we cannot do things the way we've done. We've got to change with the times. Our practice has to change with the times, right? So it forces us, it requires us to redefine how we are operating our practice, right? So that's the impact. That's how it affects us. Challenges, as these new challenges emerge, it's necessitating innovation and adaptation. Number 3, strategic alignment, aligning your legacy and retirement plans with strategic practice decisions, right? So what you were planning, in terms of your next chapter, in terms of exiting, it affects it, right? Legacy thinking, number 4, what legacy would you like to leave in your professional and community spheres? And then number 5, importantly, what's your retirement vision? Yeah, are you envisioning retirement? Is it an end or a new beginning? And all of this will kind of we'll talk about this, and and I'm next gonna go into exploring the three pathways. I believe every firm has these three pathways, right? So we'll go there next. Each choice, each pathway shapes your professional path and personal legacy. And my goal here in the hour we have together is to help you make an informed decision, right? It's going to be sharing with you these three pathways, what each one is, what are the pros and cons, and for you to get that clarity in your own head for yourself, what's right for you, because it's an important decision, right? So the three pathways are: grow your practice, right? You can keep doing what you're doing, grow it, and make something, take it to the next level. We'll talk about that. Second pathway is sell your practice, yeah. And then the third pathway is merge your practice. Now, is there a fourth pathway? Is there a fourth option? Does anyone here feel like there's a fourth option? I believe there is. There is a fourth option, and that's not to do anything. It's to continue the same way you've been operating. And the reality is that with that, with the fourth option, is the outcome is going to be that your practice will slowly shrink. Your clients will look for another CPA to help them. They'll see, your clients, they kind of see and observe. They're like, oh my goodness, this guy is getting older, or this gal is getting older, and I need to find somebody younger, right? This is just part of life, And so your practice is going to slowly shrink. And who is this for? Who is this option for the fourth option? If you're financially independent, or you're okay letting clients find their own CPA. I think it's best for CPAs with under $100,000 in revenues, and clients are paying very low fees, where it's just going to be so difficult to transition them to anyone else, and it's just letting them kind of go when they're ready to go, and when you're ready to stop doing the work for them. So that's the fourth option. All right, let's go into the three pathways. And maybe the fourth pathway, if you want to go there as well, of not doing anything. So first pathway, first option that every person here in this room has is to grow your practice. I want to quickly lay out what that scenario looks like from my observations, my conversations with CPA firm owners. Here's the scenario. You've been at it for many years. You've been through ups and downs. You have worked hard, and you have served many clients. You've done a lot of good. You've made a lot of difference. You've had many client relationships. You've made a difference for them. When you were younger, it was easier. The excitement of growing your firm when you were younger carried you through the difficult times, through the challenging times. In recent years, you don't have that level of excitement, and you wonder how many more years you can keep doing this. And you've often wondered about succession planning and what is that going to look like for you. You may have talked about it with clients, what succession planning is. And now it's for yourself. You've thought about it and you're not sure what the options are there. Not to all that certain. Now, there's a part of you that wants to grow your firm and build a team so that you can be the person at the top. That's what your vision has been. That's been your dream. And there is a small part of you that wants to do that. But you're also a realist, and you're recognizing the difficulty of doing that on your own. You've tried doing that in different ways for many different years, and you haven't had that, you didn't get the level of success you wanted to. But there's some part of you that's saying, I want it. Right? So that's an option. This is a pathway. Wherever you are in your journey, in your career, right? You've got that option of growing your practice. And now I'll talk about the pros and cons of doing that, taking it to that next level. So if you're at $200,000, take it to $500,000. If you're at $500,000, you take it to $1 million. If you're at $1 million, you take it to 2 million or what have you, right? That's kind of what I'm talking about here. And you're on the driver's seat doing that. So the pros and the cons. The pros are that, yeah, a practice that is 500,000 goes to 1 million, it is going to be more profitable. It is going to have a higher valuation, right? It's going to sell for more. And your dreams do come true, right? That's something you wanted to do. You find you do it, right? That's the pros. What are the cons? The many changes currently taking place in the accounting and tax profession. We talked about it. AI, tech upgrades, competition, staffing, all that, right? And it's going to require time and money to grow your firm, right? There's my firm, Straight Talk CPAs, has made a big investment over the last few years in marketing, team building, systems, technology. All takes time and money, right? It's going to require learning new skills to lead these initiatives. If you want to grow, if you want to do, make it, bring in a higher quality clients, if you want to, it's going to require learning how to do that. The con is that there's a shortage of skilled labor, and it's going to take you a lot of time and effort, because at the end of the day, the buck stops with you, right? So those are the cons. And I bring this to you just trying, with the intention of just bringing it, trying to make it as clear for folks so they can make their own decisions, right? So grow your practice. Those are the options. Those are, that's the reality if you wanna do that as one path. So bringing this conversation to you, does this speak to you? Is grow your practice a pathway or an option that is appealing to you? And feel free, folks, to use the chat, just have a dialogue, type stuff in if this is appealing to you, right? Next, we'll talk about the second pathway, and that is to sell your practice. Selling your practice, here's the scenario. You sell your practice the traditional way, and you've been solicited by brokers. I know I have. You pay a 10% broker commissions or something along those lines. You sell at a multiple of 0.6 to 1, maybe if you're lucky, 1.1. Pay the broker's commission and you have a good payday, right? And you retire. Yeah, you sold your practice, you're free from it. Now you can do what you want to do, right? Keeping in mind that lifespans are high and they keep increasing. So the question for you is, what will I do with all my free time? How will my clients feel about this? Will the new owner be able to take care of my clients? Will I have regrets once I sell? Will my staff like the new owner, etc.? Right? So those of you who are considering selling your practice, these are very real and relevant thoughts, questions, things you're pondering. Yeah, the things that are in the bold at the end, right? What are you gonna do with that time? Suddenly, you don't have something to go to, right? It's a place where you were spending so much time and energy, and now you don't have that anymore. So that's the second scenario. Let's kind of explore the pros and the cons. The pros, the advantages of this pathway is time freedom. Travel and hobbies. You get to do what you want to do with your time. You're free. All that weight is off your shoulder. And that's great. There's financial freedom, depending on the size of your practice. Yeah. You know, how much it can, what are you selling it for? And is it paying enough for you to retire on? Those are the pros. What are the cons? High client attrition and clients feeling abandoned. Clients want you. They like you. They've got the relationship with you. There is a risk that they are going to leave. And the clients are going to get this feeling that oh man, he just left me suddenly. He wasn't there. And I know there is a transition period and all that, but that's a short amount of time. And handing over that long relationship that you've had is not an easy thing. So that's one of the cons. Second is most times the transaction is not set up for the seller you to keep working, right? It's like the buyer wants you out. Sorry to say that, but they're like, I mean, the reason I'm doing this is I can do this on my own, and they don't, they want to take over that relationship and the work and all that. It's an abrupt end to a long career. What do you do with your time? And your team may feel abandoned. So those are the pros and the cons for that second pathway. And I'm curious, who does the selling your practice speak to? Yeah, who does it appeal to? Melissa, I think you said yes, but you may have said yes to the first pathway, which was grow your practice, and that's great. Who does the second option of selling your practice appeal to? John, what does sometimes mean? All right, third option, third pathway is merge your practice, right? That's the third pathway, is merge your practice. Let me see. Depending on the day, when you want to sell it, yeah, ups and downs. So the third pathway, guys, gals, is merge and thrive. Here's the scenario. You merge your firm with another firm that is fully systematized and with a strong team in place. You free yourself from doing the work you don't enjoy doing or aren't good at. You do the work you enjoy doing and are good at. Simple as that, right? You merge with another firm that has the systems, the team in place, and so that you can only do the things you enjoy doing. Now, here's the next slide, which I think will speak to a good number of us, right? What's your perfect role, right? These are the top half of the slide are things, tasks that seasoned CPA firm owners don't enjoy. And I think most people in this room here are seasoned. You've been at it for a while. I'm talking to folks that are not like newbies that have started their practice, and they're probably going for the growth. Yeah, they want to grow it. But if you've been at it for 15, 20, 25 years, like myself, I've been at it for 27 years, right? I don't want to be doing compliance work at this time of my career. It's time consuming, repetitious, and basic tax prep, bookkeeping, resolving IRS tax issues, administrative duties, managing office logistics, paperwork, dealing with staff issues, collections, AR, calling clients to pay up, technology troubleshooting, dealing with IT stuff, software updates, customer service, dealing with irate clients. Like, I don't want to be doing that. I believe most folks here in this room, in this session, don't want to be doing that, right? And the second half is things that CPA firm owners will typically enjoy doing, which is strategic advisory, providing high-level financial tax guidance, growth strategies, or providing a niche service like CFO, financial services, tax planning, tax resolution. So being the specialist and providing that service. Client relationships, building and nurturing long-term relationships with clients. You like to do that. Complex problem solving, handling challenging tax scenarios, complex financial consultations. And some people like business development, exploring new business opportunities and expanding the firm services or being involved in that, right? You don't have to be in the driver's seat. But CPA firm owners, they enjoy that part of it. What leads to a lot of burnout for CPA firm owners is the first half of the top half of the page. If you've been in practice for 15, 20, 30 years, And if you're doing any of that first top half of that page, it's going to lead to dissatisfaction. It's going to lead to frustration, stress. It's just going to, burnout, right? Those are the things that you want to be out of that role, right? And you want to be in the role that's towards the bottom half of that page. And that's kind of what I've observed from my so many conversations I've had with firm owners, is that's kind of where they want to be, and rightfully so. And when you merge with another firm, these are the pros, and then I'll share with you the cons. The first one is you perform a role that caters to your strengths and interests, like the previous slide, right? You can do that. You want to be doing that. And if you merge with a firm that can take care of the other stuff, the top half of that page, they've got a system and processes, that's perfect. That's the ideal scenario, right? You continue helping your clients because you're still there. You didn't disappear in the sunset. You do have time freedom, not as much as when you sold your practice, but you have time freedom because you're working lesser hours. So you have the ability, you've got time to travel, hobbies, etc. You keep benefiting monetarily from the growth of your clients. You become part of a well-run company that has resources to invest in the team and resources, and there's no broker commissions. The cons are it could initially feel like a loss of decision-making power. And number two is there's challenges, there may be challenges in adapting to a new role and expectations within the firm setup, right? So those are potential challenges that you're going to have, and there's ways to overcome them. But in the spirit of kind of giving it all to you as clear as I can and giving you the full picture, that's challenges that can happen from being your own boss to being part of an organization where you're playing one part of it, but you're still involved in the firm, right? So that's merging your firm. Which option is right for you? So now I've given you all three pathways. Grow your practice, right? The pros and cons for that. Selling your practice, sailing into the sunset, the pros and the cons for that. And then merging your practice, pros and cons for that. As of now, after what I shared with you, which pathway is appealing to you? So I'm going to give you guys a few seconds while I take a sip of water. Don't overthink it, people. Gonna give everyone a few more seconds. Guys, gals, no right or wrong answer. I don't need to see any particular answer. It's just what spoke to you, what spoke to your heart of the three options that you see on the screen. Where are you at? What are you feeling? Listen to your heart. What is your heart feeling at this moment? So far, two people shared. Jean, thank you. Selling or merging. So two options you're kind of looking at both options. You're keeping an open mind with both options. With 1 to, if you do a merge, it's 1 to 3 year exit. Cool, awesome. Melissa saying, I'm still in the phase where I want to grow my practice, but having an end goal or exit strategy is helpful to my what? To my planning. Awesome, great, yeah. So you're in the growth stage, but you want to kind of have that end in mind or what that looks like. Yeah. Kaz saying growth. I started my, oops, where did my thing go? What did I do? My chat. 1 second. Sorry, guys. Growth. I started my firm a year ago after 20 years as an employee. So you're in the early stages. You want to grow your firm, and understood. Got it. Good. Great. So I want to now talk about what we've been up to, what I've been up to at my firm, Straight Talk CPAs. And we call it the Straight Talk Synergy, where we merge with a like-minded firm. And I want to share what that looks like. And it's going to be something for you to consider. Maybe it's an option you want thinking, you want considering, and this may help you to do that. So far this year, we've done 2 acquisitions. One was with Jeff. We did this acquisition in January of this year, like right before tax season. So what you see on that, on the slide is Jeff Campbell. And before, Jeff was kind of a one-man show with a couple of people that were helping him. And he was working long hours. He was finding it difficult to find good help, and he was doing admin work as well, like answering the phones. And he had an office that had where people would walk in. It was a retail kind of setup, and he was just finding it difficult to grow with the right clients, and his fees were on the low side. After the merger, after going through one tax season with Jeff on the team, he's performing review work and client relationships. Like, that's what Jeff loves doing. So we put him in that role where the tax returns are prepared by my team. The bookkeeping is done by my team at Straight Talk, and Jeff is doing the review work, and he's doing the client relationships. He's meeting with the clients. He's participating in team meetings. We helped him transition from a physical office to a virtual office several months back in May, and he's working lesser hours, right? So that was kind of the experience we have from working with Jeff and his experience. So this was a testimonial that words that Jeff shared. I'm glad I've merged my accounting firm with Straight Talk CPAs. My small firm has experienced some growth in the past years, and I was feeling a bit overwhelmed serving my clients. Since I'm at retirement age, I also had begun thinking of an exit plan. The merger has been a tremendous help in tracking the workflow. The staff at Straight Talk have provided me with the much needed support and has lessened the burden I have previously felt during tax seasons in the past few years. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but this is what I was talking about, guys. Is Jeff was not ready to sell his firm and just like exit out. He's in his upper 60s. He enjoys the work, but he doesn't enjoy the admin work. He doesn't enjoy like all the technical, the preparation, the compliance side. He enjoys the client relationships. He enjoys the review stuff. So we took that part of it from off his plate and allowed him to do the stuff that he enjoys, right? Jerry is a merger acquisition that just happened. This was like a week and a half back. So Jerry is 68 years old. He's 20 plus years in practice. Some of you guys have met Jerry. He's been at conferences, and he's been an active part in the community. He was working long hours, same thing. He was finding it very difficult to get good help, especially in his challenge was on the corporate side, businesses, bookkeeping. He was just having a hard time finding finding help there. And he was not able to spend the time to build his wealth management and financial services practice. So after the acquisition, the focus is for Jerry to work on the financial services, right? We took over the compliance side, and he gets to do what he enjoys doing. We're going to transition him from a physical office to a virtual office. So as I say, this just took place a week and a half back. So we're going to help him do that. We've already done several moves. My own firm, 2,500 square feet, Class B office space. We took that into a 15-person virtual firm last year. So kind of built out the system, the process, how to do that. And then we used that to help Jeff transition his practice. That's the firm that I'd acquired back in January, merged with in January. And now we're going to do the same. We're going to use the same process with Jerry's. And he gets to work lesser hours and do the work he enjoys, which is wealth management and financial services. So that's been kind of what we've done with a couple of mergers. And as a CPA firm that is merging with another firm, there are 5 key areas that we pay a lot of attention to, right? Number one is client. We'll just kind of dive right in. Yeah, I'll just quickly go through what each one is. Because when you do a merger, these 5, it has to be done right for this merger, this marriage to be successful, and for the outcome to be what we want it to be, which is for the person that is merging their firm. We want it to be a good outcome. We want amazing client retention. We want the clients to be very happy because we keep the service the same and better. We make it better. So these are all the things that we do to ensure that. Number one, direct communication through emails and calls, regular updates on the merger process and changes, ensuring clients are well informed. So keeping them in the loop, highlighting improvements like enhanced services, expert access, and better technology, implement feedback mechanisms such as surveys, follow-up calls to monitor satisfaction and respond to clients' needs. And I mean, I was kind of talking about Jeff. He's involved in the practice, right? That's the firm. In January, Jeff continues to play a part because that's what he wanted to do. He likes the part. We became clear about his role, and he has a place to perform that role. In Jerry's case, the firm that we just acquired a week and a half back, there's going to be a role for Jeff, which is financial services. So he still has access to the clients. He's still around. Yeah, he's still having conversations with the clients. In addition to having my team involved with his clients, Jeff's going to be involved as Jerry's. I'm sorry, starting with Jerry's going to be involved as well, right? With the financial services. So that is what is important when it comes to client transition, and why it's working for us. The merging thing is working for us because it's not the seller just disappearing and then they're out after 3 months or so. And not to say that you cannot have success selling your firm. Joe Truscott, he's on the call, and I've seen a couple of comments here where he sold his firm a year or two back, and it's been a good transition for him, right? Or maybe you kind of have more comments there, Joe. Okay. All right, that's a long one, but I know you've sold your practice, and it seems like you've had success with selling it through a broker. So there are situations where that can be, that can work well as well, right? All right. Second thing is team transition. Very important, right? As part of the merger, is making sure that there is a blending of culture and it's a successful, your team is successfully integrated into the new culture. So providing transparent communication about the merger's purpose, process, and expected outcomes to all team members, offering comprehensive training session support to help employees adapt to new tools, processes, and roles, ensure that leadership is accessible and responsive to address concerns, provide guidance, organize team building activities to blend differing company culture smoothly, and establish a continuous feedback loop where employees can express concerns and suggestions. So we've got a very effective meeting platform where we are meeting on Mondays. We are meeting for a Monday, starting the week with a Monday momentum meeting. We meet again on Wednesday for a midweek momentum meeting. Once a month, we meet for culture and team building. So we have all these things set up in place, already working well, and we have the new team coming in, as part of that as well. So communication is important with clients and with the team, and that's what we pay attention to here with that second team transition. Third area, technology and innovation, cloud solutions ensure data is accessible remotely, boosting flexibility, supporting a mobile workforce. So everything is on the cloud. We've got a super secure cloud server system, everything in place that people can access, that security measures in place that they can do that. Leverage CRM system to improve client service and personalization. And then pooling technology reduces costs and elevates service standards across the merged entity. Number 4 is growth strategy. So we want to merge with a firm and we want them to continue to grow. We want to grow as one, right? So what we're able to do is implement targeted online campaigns that engage potential clients, generate a consistent stream of new leads weekly, utilize analytics to refine online marketing strategies, ensure maximum reach and engagement with ideal client profiles, establish a structured referral program that incentivizes existing clients, centers of influence to refer new business, maintain ongoing communication with existing clients via nurture emails, use testimonials and case studies to demonstrate value and encourage referrals. So I'll give you guys an example with Jeff, right? Jeff is located in Ohio. And my firm's virtual. It was headquartered in New Jersey for 26 years until last year. We acquired Jeff's firm located in Mayfield Heights, Ohio. It's got a population of, I think, like 15,000 people, not more than that. Mayfield Heights does, right? Small town that is about 45 minutes or so from a big city called Cleveland. We took Jeff's firm virtual in May, and we expanded his geographic marketing scope to include Cleveland. So now we are getting, it doesn't matter where Jeff is, where he's getting leads from. He's virtual. We are all virtual now, right? We can service a client that's in Cleveland. They don't have to be in Mayfield Heights, Ohio. They can be in Cleveland, Ohio, an hour away, right? So that is just kind of expanded our reach. And that's what we do when we kind of, with Jerry, his firm is in upstate New York, not far from Albany, New York. And, so there's so much opportunity in that area. And if we put the marketing system that I have that we are using for Straight Talk and use it for prospects and leads that are in that area, upstate New York, that is going to grow Jerry's practice, and Jerry benefits from it, right? It's all part of we are one. Yeah, Jerry wins because we're growing. We're retaining his clients because Jerry's involved. He's around. He's vested in it, and he wants to play a role. And when the firm grows, Jerry benefits from it. Straight Talk benefits from it. So kind of that's the strategy when it comes to growing that firm, right? Okay, number 5 is income and lifestyle. Yeah, it's a multi-year payment structure for this. Yeah, having structure in the sale, this is important. Yeah, where the payment is over a few years, it provides tax savings. You're not reporting all that as gain, capital gain, what have you, in that year of sale. You're a smart guy, so you know the benefits there, the savings there. Second thing, together we create your ideal role. You work as many hours as you want and do the work you enjoy, and you become part of a virtual CPA firm that has a great team, and you become part of this Straight Talk advisory board with like-minded firm owners. So you're playing, making a difference. You're part of the bigger organization, and there's a system. There's a system to transition you from a physical office to a virtual office. Uh, I mentioned that Jeff's practice going virtual enabled growth in the larger Cleveland metro. So there's benefits from that come from it, doing the merger thing. All right. If this speaks to you, the merger route, very quickly, these are the 7 ways that we do this. It's like step by step, peeling layers to an onion. Step 1, we meet to discuss if this could be the right fit. It's a 15-minute call between you and me, and I'll give you the link in just a couple of slides. Second thing is I'll get some information from you about you, your practice. We'll meet to go over it, to discuss the fit. We'll perform due diligence from both sides, making sure it's right, draft and sign agreements, transition. Then we go into the transition and integration phase. We've got all that kind of mapped out. So, what we did with Jeff back in January, we've got the system. We're doing that with Jerry. Yesterday, we had an onboarding integration session. Just started kind of laying it out, mapping it out. And then post-merger review, making sure that it's going the way we want and making tweaks as needed, right? So that's kind of the framework that we use to do the merger. Any questions? Feel free to ask, please. But the reality is that things are changing. You've seen it. I went over it. There's nothing new there. And it's going to impact how, what you're looking to do, what your next chapter is, right? It's going to these changes impact what you think of retirement. If you don't change your practice and adapt to the new technologies and the new way of working, it's going to go lower in value, right? If you keep doing what it is that you do. And so if you're ready to kind of spend the time and energy, growth is an option. It's a pathway. Second one was selling your practice before it gets, I don't know what's ahead, but that's a pathway that, to consider is working through a broker, finding a broker. I think somebody asked a question is, how do you find a good broker? It's just having conversations, right? It's talking to several brokers and see who has the best interest, who's done this, who's got your best interest at heart, and then working with one. And if merger is an option for you, then it's, let's connect. Let's have a one-on-one call. Really, the goal was to give you what you want, what you need, what are the options, so that you can make an informed decision. So here's the link. We'll get it in the chat or wherever, so you can. Oh man, Edna, you're like on top of it. You're ready with it. Okay, cool. So yeah, kind of look at the link there. Let me read what while you're doing that or considering if you want to schedule something or not. Let me see what Joyce got to say. Salim, I've associated with 3 entrepreneurs, and they've retained me to assist in acquiring 10 to 15 CPA firms on our way to doing due diligence on first acquisition of firm in Ottawa, doing 2.75 million in revenues, and that firm has 2 other locations and practices available for sale. So you're doing in acquiring CPA firms. That's awesome, man. You've teamed up with folks that are looking to like roll up firms, and that's great. And I can see you being an asset to them with your experience been in the industry for so many years and having sold your own firm. So that's awesome. Good for you. Any questions, folks, from anything we have shared? Please use this time to your benefit. I'm here to serve you. Any questions you have, easy questions, difficult questions, doesn't matter. The best question is the one that's you ask. Was this helpful? Like, what resonated with you? You took the time to be on it, speaking to David, Jean, Jassim, all the people in the room here, John, Joe, Kaz, Marcel. Hey, Marcel, how are you, man? Mark, what resonated with you? What spoke to you? What questions do you have? Any? I'll give you guys a few seconds. Yeah, Kaz is saying alternative forms of growth was helpful to understand. Yeah. So grow the firm and then sell it later, exit later, right? Get the valuation higher. You've got 3 to 5 years. You've got the time frame to do that well. Things take time, right? If you've got like 1 or 2 years, then merging is, I think, a good option because it's going to take time to really build a machine, a growth machine. Anyone, yeah, more than 3 to 5 years, you've got growth is a good option to build something there. Cool. Regardless of what option, folks, if you want to take me up on any of the 3 pathways, I've been at it for many years. Growth, we can have a conversation about just growth. I'll make myself available to give you some things of what's working for me in my firm. We are growing rapidly, organically. And so, yeah, we can certainly talk about what's currently working on the growth side of it. If you want to sell, we can certainly, talk about that, how, what that looks like for you. And if you want to merge, then of course, that's something that we can talk about as well. All right, you guys are welcome. Thank you. Folks, pleasure to have you. Thank you for taking the time to be here. I hope everyone got a lot of some value. Not, I can't say a lot of value, but hopefully you got some value. Opened up your eyes to something else, doing things in a different way, something that can really be helpful to you. All right, awesome. You guys take care, and we'll talk soon. With that, I say adios. Bye, guys.